What's up everybody, welcome to another episode of the greatest vlog in the world. My name is Jeff, your favorite tour guide in Madeira, and today we are talking about the weather in the summer. It should be obvious, right? It's gonna be hot and beautiful, but we're gonna get into a couple of tips to help you navigate your vacation in Madeira in the summer, this summer in 2024. Let's go. We're gonna get right into it. Don't want to take too long in this video because we all have jobs to do, but in the summer in Madeira, the weather is fantastic. Of course, it doesn't get too hot, right? The maximum degrees go to about 27, 29 degrees Celsius. Of course, there can be 1 or 2 days that are a little bit higher. And then during the colder times in the morning and at night and things like that, it goes to about 20 to 22 degrees Celsius in Funchal and in the coastal regions. So we're going to get into other places and things like that. The water is absolutely fantastic, right? The water can go up to 24 degrees Celsius, so a great place to be swimming in the summertime. And of course, the water is also a lot calmer in the summer, so it's a lot safer to be in the ocean. Madeira is one of those places that gets the majority of its rain in the off season, in the spring, the autumn and the winter. So in July and August, technically it doesn't rain a whole lot. So we're gonna move along here. We're in Ribeira Brava on the south coast, and we're gonna go for a quick coffee, and we're gonna go into 5 things, right? 5 tips that I'm gonna give you guys as a tour guide from what I see around here in my experience to try and help you this summer navigate the island. So it's not only about weather, but I know that a lot of people search for the weather. So we're gonna take this opportunity to talk about other things as well. Without trying to make myself look like I'm trying to sell you something, right? I'm just trying to help. For everyone thinks that he's just trying to sell tours. Yes, we're a tour guide, and I'm telling you now that in this summer we are going to be the busiest. It's going to be the busiest season in Madeira in the past couple of years. We've seen an increase over the last couple of years of visitors to Madeira. Madeira's become more popular. I don't need to get into that topic. It's also sometimes can even be a controversial one. If you're coming in the summer and you haven't yet booked your accommodation, your tours, your rent-a-car, your restaurants where you want to have dinner and lunch and whatever, all these things you need to book early, all right? Don't miss out. Once you get here, you're going to get the leftovers. The best tour companies, the best deals on cars, on everything is going to be gone by the time you're here, and you're going to get what's left over, or you might not even get anything at all. We're already getting calls from people who are here and they want to do tours, and we've booked up for the whole week. So don't miss out. Book a tour, book your accommodation, and then you can be, you can have your coffee in peace, knowing that you're not going to miss out on the best stuff in Madeira. Number 2, many of you are going to be going into the mountains, all right? Some of the best spots, scenic spots in Madeira are in the mountains, especially the peak-to-peak hike, for instance. And during the day, it's going to be just as hot as what it is down here, all right? So if you're doing the peak-to-peak, for instance, we made a video about it, on how to do the peak-to-peak. You can find that on our channel. But during the day, in the afternoon, it's going to be a lot hotter up there. But if you are going in the morning for the sunrise or in the evening for the sunset, then the weather can be different. Up there, you are 1,800 meters above sea level, and it's going to be very different, all right? So if it's windy, it can be quite chilly and quite cold, even in the summer. So make sure that if you're doing a sunrise or a sunset, that you have layers, right? That you can come and put on and take off kind of thing, because it's not going to be the same weather as what it is down in Funchal. So in Funchal, in the early morning, it could be 20 to 25 degrees Celsius on a hot day. But up there, it will be between 10 to 15 degrees. And if it's windy, it could be that little bit more problematic. So that's also why I recommend doing the peak-to-peak hike in the morning at sunrise, because then as well, once you're done at midday, and you're going to prevent those harsh hours between 1 and 5 p.m. when the sun is really beating down on you. So yeah, hope that helps. Number 3 is next. It's not every day you get to have a swim at work, right? It's actually a public holiday today, and I've got another confession to make. It's actually not yet the summer. So it's the end of May. Technically summer starts next week, really, I guess, June. But the water is still fantastic. And the clouds have come in, of course, just to kind of mess with our video a little bit. Go ahead and like and subscribe. In next week's video, we're going to be talking about swim spots in Madeira, alternative swim spots where you can beat the crowds and things like that. And then also there's more videos on this channel about where you can go swimming and things to do in the summer. So go ahead and look. If this is the first time you're here, go ahead and look. There's plenty more coming. But tip number 3 is that the water is absolutely fantastic in the summertime. 24 degrees usually in the summer, and today is a very typical summer day when it comes to the water, how it looks. All right, it's very calm, as you can see, and on the south coast and even on the north coast, the calmest waters are in the summertime. If you are swimming in the natural pools and things like this, make sure that the water is calm, and remember that safety is always number 1, right? You don't want to get washed away and things like that. A couple of tips to navigate the beaches. A lot of our beaches look like this. We've got pebble beaches, what we call kelau beaches, and of course many locals can walk around here barefoot, and I often do as well, but the flip-flops help. But for those of you who have sensitive feet, you can get those rubber shoes and you can walk around with the rubber shoes. And then also, if you don't have somewhere to put a towel, a lot of these beaches have wooden places to put towels. Ironically, when we came here, everything was taken. If you don't have a place to put your towel, you can also use a yoga mat. Now, I know that's not very helpful if you're here on vacation, but if you're one of the people who live here, there's a little tip for you guys. If you go to the beach, you can use a yoga mat to put your towel on top of. Don't forget your sunscreen. The weather is really, the sun is very harsh in Madeira, and I would recommend usually swimming in the morning or in the late afternoon. So I usually escape the hours of 12, 1 to 5 o'clock. Remember that in the summertime the sun sets very late, all right, in Madeira, or at least late according to us South Africans. 9 o'clock in the evening, it can still be daylight in some places sometimes during the summer. So you can still go to the beach at 5:30, 6, and you can still have 2 hours of the beach and swimming, and you won't get a bad sunburn. Number 4 is to make sure that you are at the correct sunset and sunrise spots. Now, the sunrise spots are quite easy to catch. You're going to go up to Pico do Arieiro, Bica da Cana, Ribeira da Janela. These are all great spots. You're going to find those all online. The sunrise during the summer is more on the northern side of the island, and the sunset is more on the southwestern side. So for instance, Funchal will not get a sunset in the summer. It's going to be more on the southwest, so you're going to be looking at places like Ponto do Sol, which is behind us over there, Ponto do Sol, Queleta, Paul do Mar, one of the best places to see the sunset in Madeira, especially in the summer. Paul do Mar and Jardim do Mar, as well as Ponto do Pargo. And then there's a couple of hidden gems. For instance, on the northwest coast, you're going to get sunsets in the summer till about the end of August. And this is a great little hidden gem, little hidden fact for you guys. Porto Muniz, the natural rock pools, as well as the Seixal natural rock pools, are great spots for a summer sunset. They'll be calmer and they'll be, without the crowds. So next spot, we're going to be talking about avoiding the crowds. But I just wanted to point that out, that if you're thinking you're going to be in Funchal and seeing the sunset and drinking a cocktail or something, it's not going to be the case. Sure, you'll still get those dusk colors and it'll still be beautiful, but you won't see the sun itself. And I know there's a lot of information out there about the best spots. you know, people come here in certain times of the year and then they see a great sunset at a specific spot and they say, this is a great sunset spot. It's a great sunset spot at that time of the year. So make sure that you time your sunsets according to where the sun is actually setting. Oh, it smells so good. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Limpets, all right? And look at this. Yeah. So these are, in fact, in Portuguese called lapis. In English they call them limpets, and it is a seafood, shellfish type thing that sticks to the rock, and you scrape them off and you fry them on the pan. These are looking fantastic. They've got some garlic butter on them. They're probably very hot, so let's see. This is how you eat them, right? Oh man, not with a fork or a knife. And to accompany this, a beer, or in this case, in my case, you can see it's a little bit lighter, is what they call in the mainland a panache. In Madeira, we call this a shandy. Shandy balloon, to be specific, balloon, because it's a balloon shape. This is the medium beer, a 30 centiliter beer, we call it a balloon. So if you just ask for a balloon, you're gonna get a beer. If you ask for a shandy balloon, you're gonna get half beer, half lemonade, which in my case is my summer drink. All right, I love to drink this kind of stuff in the summer. And of course, a bolo de caco, garlic bread, typical garlic bread to accompany the limpets and the beer. Fantastic for the diet. And the fifth and final point is that you want to do a little bit of research to find ways to beat the crowds. All right, there's certain things that you can do this summer to get away from the crowds. The first thing is, of course, go with a company that is actually trying to beat the crowds and not just doing the circular route just like everybody else. And if you're looking for tips and all of that kind of stuff, join us on our Patreon account. Once you sign up for free, you'll be able to find a video where we made, it's an hour long or an hour and a half long video where I describe the first time coming to Madeira, everything that you need to know on accommodation, activities, itinerary, building, my favorite hotels, favorite restaurants, all of that kind of stuff I've created to try and help people come here, especially people that have come for the first time. Some of the problems that we're seeing nowadays are with cars. For instance, there are, in a lot of our own opinions, too many cars on the road at the moment, and for those who are visiting this summer, they are going to have a hard time parking and navigating through Madeira. So if you can avoid renting a car to go and explore and things like that, then there's ways to do so, and I've put that all into that Patreon account. Remember, best tours in the world are at hittheroadmadeira.com. You get 10% off using the code Hugo for President at checkout, and we specialize in getting away from the crowds, off the beaten path, and in small groups, personalized itineraries. Check it out, you can't go wrong. So I hope you guys got what you needed out of this. Hope it helps, and we will see you in next week's video. Andre,
let's hit the road.
Let's hit the road, and finally get some time off on a public holiday.
I can't get over
Kind
the
of.
fact how small this fort is.
Yeah.
What purpose did it have though?
They probably had like really small flags as well. Like little miniature
Maybe.
flags.
Maybe.
You know?
I mean,
it's
this only shows that size doesn't matter.
No, yeah, no. It's a fort for ants. For those of you who are the zoo, what was it? Zoolander reference. A fort for ants. Anyway, yeah, let's go home.
Let's get out of here.